Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming. I know this is a very busy season, and I thank you for sparing your valuable time to spend with me. And I'll do my best to make your stay worth a while. Marcus, hey Kokobe, Christine, glad to see you here. All right, the topic of my talk is Ethiopia besides Bono and a future challenge. Let's begin. All right. Ethiopia, officially known as the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, is a country located in the Horn of Africa. It's bordered by Eritrea to the north, and Djibouti and Somalia to the east, Sudan and South Sudan to the west, and Kenya to the south, with over 93 million people living, blah, blah, blah. Ethiopia is the most populous landlocked country, one of the world's poorest country, GDP the lowest, the economy faces a number of serious structural problems. Agriculture production remains the low, frequent drought, poor, low GDP, poorest, the low income, agriculture, poverty, low income, low GDP per capita, famine, agriculture, Stop. Whew. I think you have enough dose of Ethiopia as a poster child of famine and poverty and food aid from Bono and his live aid promotional TV footage Western media loves to run whenever the word Ethiopia mentioned. It's so widely covered. Even people in remote rural Uganda often gave me that look of surprise when I told them that I'm from Ethiopia. Anyways, those reactions never confused me, however. Even my Ugandan ex-girlfriend once said to me, "How come you're tall and you look healthy, but not stunned and skinny?" Most of the time, I wonder if Bono saved Ethiopia. Sometimes I like to think about the billions of dollars worth missed opportunities because investors, tourists, people can't see anything in Ethiopia than Bono's footage. Can't see any potential, opportunity, but famine. I'm sure Bono did this with all good intentions, and I'm not here to discuss about whether aid or Bono helped Ethiopia or Africa for that matter. This is a larger discussion currently happening between prominent economists such as William Easterly and Dambisa Moyo and the like on one side, and Jeffrey Sachs and his entourage on the other. Today, I'm not talking about all this. Today, I want to talk about the stories you don't hear much. The stories besides Bono's live aid and the famine footage. The stories that make Ethiopians always proud. The stories I grew up with. We Ethiopians like to think as the most proud people in the entire universe. Not even any alien nation there might exist would beat us. Even they come and tell us they're more proud creatures than we are. We tell them, you are wrong. What are these stories? Ethiopians were never colonized. Think about it for a moment. A poor black nation. This wasn't easy. Ethiopia had to win a series of battles with European colonial governments, superpowers basically, during the time. Even now, Empress Taitu, King Minilik's wife, was one of the leading figures in the victory of the Battle of Adwa in 1896, when Ethiopia beat Italy. She was fighting at the war front. In 1896, she was so popular, she was on a cover page of a French magazine. Well, even if it is Le Petit Journal, the name doesn't sound grandiose, however. We take pride the fact that Ethiopia was one of the few founding members of the League of Nations in early 1920s. Haile Selassie, with his remarkable diplomatic skill, was great friends with all countries. He had to impress Britain, French, and Italy to make Ethiopia part of their drinking buddies. He was on a cover page of Time. He was the Times Man of the Year in 1935. This wasn't an easy time to be noticed. This was the time when the world was grooming for World War II. The time of Roosevelt. Hitler was there. Hitler. And the Soviet dominance. Ethiopia contributed so much to the world. You wouldn't see today's advanced South Korea if it wasn't for the 6,000 Ethiopian soldiers fought in important battlefields in Korea. There would probably be one big annoying Kim Jong's Korea. Maybe. Ethiopia trained, supplied, and financed some of the African independent movement fighters. Here in this slide, these are some of the prominent African independent leaders. This is actually the most powerful story that came out recently at the time of Mandela's days. During apartheid, when Mandela was in Ethiopia for a top secret military training, as a time when all the peaceful means were dried up, the person next to Mandela in this picture is Ethiopia's Colonel Bono, who was in charge of Mandela's mission in Ethiopia. This man was Mandela's security guard during the time. Apartheid civilian dressed top security men flooded Addis and approached this guy and told him to strangle and kill Mandela. In return, he was promised a sack full of money and, well, also that he would save his family and himself. If you say no, they were powerful. He told them that, he's all game and that he would kill Mandela. But immediately, somehow, he used his tactic to inform his boss, Colonel Bono, and saved Mandela's life. And his family life. Think about that. This guy probably earned $10 a month. I don't know, maybe during the time. Imagine what this means. What South Africa would be without Mandela. Without this man. Ethiopia is one of the first countries to adopt Christianity. Well, we claim to have the Ark of the Covenant. Actually, a couple of years ago, the world was hoping Ethiopia would reveal the Ark. Still remains to be one of the most mysterious, long-awaited suspense. Ethiopia has history over 3,000 years of history. With Ethiopia saved Islam, one of the most important religions in the world. The first hijrah in 615, at the time when Islam teaching was forbidden and when early Muhammad's followers were facing ruthless killing by their own people in the Arab world, Ethiopia, a Christian kingdom then, hosted and protected 16 influential pioneer Islam teachers. It probably costed Ethiopia, I think, to stop key trade deals with the Arab world and a lot of friends, a lot of money probably, just to save the truth, to save one of the most important religion. Rastafarians consider our man, our guy, Haile Selassie as the god of black race and Ethiopia as a holy land. Simda is now, I think, connected with Bob Marley's spirit, and it's given Ethiopian name. His name is Brahane now. It means the light of the world. Anyways, I jump from the religion talk. Ethiopia is one of the highly concentrated number of UNESCO heritage sites. In this map, the deep red is where there is a high concentration of historic heritage sites, you know, with the liking of Egypt and Morocco. In 11th century, Ethiopians, with the help of angels, you heard it right, I repeat, with the help of angels and saints, built a massive church from one big stone that's connected underground with other church. From Sami Mountains to the lowest depression of Danakil, a place where our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was from. And Lucy here, with her discoverer Johannes. And few years later, her older sister Ardi, a 4 million years old woman, discovered. Well, it was interesting to find out that Ardi was somehow involved in the last 2012 US election campaign. 1,000 years ago, Ethiopians came up with their own completely unique scripts and numbers and mathematics methods. I'm sure you already figured out what this is. A birthplace of coffee, where we have Starbucks every corner. Not really Bono. Rather, role models within are transforming Ethiopia today. To mention the few, puzzled by the 1984 famine, realizing there were places in Ethiopia that had abundant food, while the north was, central and around the north was losing millions from starvation. Eleni here, a Stanford PhD economics graduate, moved back to Ethiopia and set up one of the most successful commodity exchange in Africa, connecting millions of small farmers with international markets and providing price information at the doorstep and selling hundreds of millions of tons produces collected from small farmers, from networks of thousands of storage facilities that she has built in Ethiopia. She was motivated by the fact that 1984 famine was not driven by availability of food or food supply in the country, rather the entitlement of available food, a concept you all know the great Nobel laureate Amartya Sen is known for. She transformed millions of farmers' life. This is the commodity exchange trading floor. Another hero, Gashabara Morla, an exiled musician who later returned to his countries in the late 90s and turned it into an environmentalist. He passionately mobilized the entire country to clean cities, neighbors, streets, and plant trees. He transformed Addis from a city of dumpsters to one of the most beautiful cities in Africa. Bethlehem, founder of Soul Rebels footwear company that started from grassroots in Ethiopia, has become a multi-million-dollar global brand benefiting thousands of Ethiopians. Zerihun, founder of Soul Rebels footwear company that started from grassroots in Ethiopia, has become one of a multi-million-dollar global brand benefiting thousands of Ethiopians. A business that she started for the most disadvantaged communities and artists, but crafty communities, has become a global sensation. With the retail stores in all over Europe and Asia. Here we see a store in Taiwan. Imagine, this is not H&M or Gap's or Nike. Olympic season is always time to shine for Ethiopians. Not the Winter Olympics that's currently going on in Russia. You know, the Olympics. Olympics has transformed running culture in the country. The athletes are everyone's inspiration. Today, not only elite athletes that are running in Ethiopia, it's easy to say the country runs. Everyone runs. Well, try me. Catch me if you can. Today, a continent once doomed hopeless is rising, and Ethiopia is in the forefront of the success story. Among top fastest growing countries, Ethiopia takes the lead, and 7 out of 10 fastest growing countries are in Africa. A year away from 2015, Ethiopia has already achieved 7 out of 8 million development goals, targets. Well, you know, it's not all beautiful, wonderful, la-la-landish. There are critical challenges ahead that require extraordinary leadership. Ethiopia follows ethnic-based federal system, and the success of the country depends on its unity and real autonomy to ethnic groups, and equal rights, and really genuine respect for diversity. The track record thus far is not impressive. It requires a lot of work to be done. Otherwise, all the good work would be like a superstructure with no foundation. Another challenge, with Egypt power changing in the region, Ethiopia is building a $4.5 billion dam on Nile River. Already a good part is completed. Part of becoming the leading power exporting country in Africa, and already started exporting to Sudan and Djibouti on a pipeline, Kenya, Yemen. Such mega projects are extremely sensitive and tensions are already high. Such challenges require extraordinary diplomatic sophistication to find a win-win solution. Ethiopia doesn't have thick skin to handle criticism. One of the many inspiration we got from China. There are prominent journalists in prison. In the picture here, Iskandar Nagga, one of the main critics of government, is currently in prison. These are some of the main challenges. This will remain one of the challenges as the country gears up to join middle-income country by 2025. These are my stories. Stories behind Bono's live aid and Bono's footage. The stories that define the Ethiopia I know, not poverty. Thank you.